Half the money Rolls-Royce competitor from Toyota shocks the entire industry massively. Rolls-Royce and Toyota are two of the most prominent car companies of the present world, which provide good automobiles for the future. The European car was redesigned by Toyota, which was a shock to people all around the world. But this benefited the Japanese because they could invest their money in a company they could trust, and the Century SUV was half the price of a Rolls-Royce Phantom. Toyota is considered the staple transport for the Japanese population, and they do not invest in luxury cars from other countries. Being an established automaker has its benefits. Old corporations have a vast archive of discarded vehicles, a gold mine. Ford revived the Maverick, Toyota brought back the Toyota Crown, and now Toyota is doing it again with the Century SUV. According to Japan's greatest automobile magazine, this Toyota has transported presidents and millionaires and is the country's equivalent of a Rolls-Royce. Toyota is getting ready to revive an SUV model. Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today, you learn about the rivalry between Toyota and Rolls-Royce and how exactly the people have reacted to it. Please put on your thinking hats because it's time to think about which company could benefit from this competition. Stay until the end of this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell to get all the updates regarding our new videos. Without further ado, let's get right on to the video. Being an established automaker has its benefits. For starters, vintage automobile manufacturers have a vast archive of discontinued models, a gold mine. Ford revived the Maverick, Toyota revived the Toyota Crown, and now Toyota is doing it once more with the Century SUV. This Toyota, the Japanese counterpart of a Rolls-Royce, has transported presidents and millionaires. According to allegations from Japan's top auto magazine, Toyota is allegedly ready to reintroduce an SUV version. It's funny how multiple car brands now show the same design. They look just the same, but the engine may be completely different. This makes customers need clarification and mostly end up buying the cheaper model. Would that be the best option? Let's start with the history of the Toyota Century, which was introduced in 1967 and was Japan's first luxury chauffeur car. The Century is one of the most opulent automobiles ever produced, but because it was only available in Japan, most people have never heard of it. It was developed so that the wealthy and powerful in Japan may drive an ultra-luxury Japanese-made car instead of their leaders using a vehicle from Germany or the United States. Asakichi Toyoda, the company's founder, became 100 years old that year. Therefore, it was named in his honor. Bringing this car back is a big deal because it's known as the Halo product inside. The low-volume saloon was one of the most expensive vehicles the business has ever offered, with a starting price of 20 million yen, about $152,000 US. For those fortunate enough to sit in the back in the 1960s, it offered an unequaled experience, so much so that it lasted on the market for 30 years before being completely revamped, becoming ingrained in Japan's auto culture. The first generation had a layout that didn't change much, but the second generation had a 5.0-liter 48-valve V12 unique to Japan. This model was on the market for another 21 years. But now, more than 50 years after it was first introduced, we may see a completely redesigned version of this car. According to a recent issue of the Japanese magazine Best Vehicle Report, Toyota is ready to unveil the SUV of the century. Toyota plans to release a competitor, but the Century will be longer, with 2 rows of seating and lots of room for passengers to stretch their legs. The desire for Rolls-Royce has never been stronger, and off the back of a successful culinary debut, Toyota plans to offer the competition. However, Best Automobile claims that this car stands out due to its characteristics. Like the century before, this century must adapt to the times as high-end business clientele and others now like SUVs for commuting. Toyota wants to create a structure that makes it possible to build both engine and battery electric vehicle models in the same vehicle, as is the case with the Lexus TX. However, Toyota still needs a clear line in the sand regarding electrification. Thus, they want to keep their options open. The forthcoming Century SUV is anticipated to ride on the same front-drive-based TNGA-K platform as the current Camry, Kluger, Lexus RX, and planned crossover Crown. This suggests that the 3.5-liter V6 and the 2.4-liter turbocharged four-cylinder are two potential engine choices, both used in earlier vehicles built on the same chassis. The 3.5-liter V6 engine used in the Lexus LC500H and IS 500H is the most likely candidate for the vehicle's powertrain. The Greatest Automobile article speculates that Toyota will offer the Century SUV for individual use. What store will this new car be sold at? As early as mid-2023, Toyota intends to market the Century SUV locally in Japan. However, details regarding potential vehicle exports to other nations must be disclosed. However, given that the speculated pricing is comparable to the new Lexus LX600, it is less likely that Toyota will introduce this vehicle in other nations to compete. Because it was the most prestigious and well-known Japanese car on the market, the Century was believed to be impervious to changes. It was described as a haven for Toyotas and Japanese cars by Best Car. Because it is so deeply ingrained in Japanese culture, it has only undergone 3 generations in the 56 years it has been on the market. There are also rumors that the present Century almost didn't happen because bigwigs and executives, or more precisely those who Akio Toyoda would socialize with, demanded a replacement before the second generation was finished. Of course, the Century SUV won't necessarily replace the Century sedan. Both models might be made available simultaneously, providing Toyota with a model to compete. The premium SUVs produced by Europe automakers like Lamborghini and Rolls-Royce. Given the vast range of the lifespan, it is certain that the current version, which was recently available for another 5 years, will survive. It's safe to suppose that the present third-generation Century is unlikely to be replaced so early in its life cycle. So let's see if those reports are true. However, since Toyota is making big changes to its mainstream portfolio and most recognizable nameplates, it wouldn't be surprising to see the company add a second vehicle, preferably an SUV, to its lineup. Please share your thoughts on these reports in the comments section. With that, we've come to an end. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content. Until next time.